But and either way, let's get into it.
しおりを挟んだページ、このデータをちゃんと読み込めたわよ。
峰越琴ひな、運命度90。
Look at that fadedness, holy.
1ヶ月後、誕生日。何かプレゼントしてあげるといいかも。
No kidding. I asked her about it the day we started going out. Sure enough, Kortahina's birthday was exactly 1 month from now. Obviously, I was planning to get her something, though I hadn't decided exactly what yet. Speaking of birthdays, though,
エリが事故に遭ってしまったのは、あの日、彼女を呼び出した私のせいなの。
look, Dexter, I know you don't like Kortahina, but imagine what will happen after I finish all of the routes in my Klutzy Cupid. You'll see, you'll be getting some extra content on the Patreon, with, how have I forgotten her name? The sister. Uta, yeah. You'll be getting some scenes from Uta, right? You know that. So, if anything, you should be encouraging me to finish this game.
私がエリを誕生日会に呼ばなければ、こんなことにはならなかった。
That one sentence you copied, oh my god. The hours and hours of sex. Given what happened, I get the feeling Kortahina doesn't look forward to her birthday all that much. If anything, it probably just makes her start blaming herself all over again. So that's how it is, huh? You're telling me to settle things once and for all on her birthday. Looking at it another way, this would be my last chance to bring Kortahina around. I'd be rendered impotent by this time next year if I waited till then. Guess there's no choice. I'll just have to open up Kortahina's heart, no matter what it takes.
好きな人から誕生日にもらって嬉しいプレゼントですか？
Yeah, as a girl, what kind of present would you want to get? I feel horrible. The next morning, I immediately consulted my sister for advice. I mean, I felt the same. I felt that way with Nanami from Riddle Joker, right? Normally, I should be coming up with what kind of present to get my girlfriend on my own. But this time, I wasn't giving her a gift to satisfy myself. It was a gift to open up her heart. Who is your favorite from Riddle Joker or my Klutzy Cupid? From RJ. Nanami. Look, you're coping if you say that Chisaki's is the best because there is nothing there. There is 4 hours of content compared to Nanami's twice that, right? I mean, excluding the sex scenes because they're going to be good. I didn't say her route is the best. Yeah, I know. But I'm saying in general, if anyone says Chisaki's route is the best, it's Cope. I didn't want to give her something selfish. I wanted to give her something that had a lot of thought put into it. So swallowing my pride, I decided to ask anyone and everyone I could for help.
私物欲はない方ですし、 誕生日以外なら新しいレシピ集とか欲しいですけど。
Isaki's route is the best copium. Bro.
やっぱり物をもらうよりも私は好きな人と一緒に入れたら嬉しいですね。
Yeah, but that's boring, Uta. I want to give a present. I don't want to give her myself. I see. I hadn't thought of that. There's a bit of a sappy, love-struck girl sort of answer. My heart is torn. Look! Mine is too. But, you know... This is a different timeline. Stop playing. I've already hit record, so... But perhaps she was onto something. Maybe instead of simply spending time together, I could get her a present that promised we would be together forever.
というか兄さん、どうしてそんなことを聞くんです？まさか私の誕生日に兄さん自身をプレゼントして。
Ah, that hurts. No. No, that's not gonna happen. Maybe it is best that I play my favorite characters around last if possible. True. That's what I'm saying. Why didn't you save Uta for last? It's always best to get multiple opinions. But that's what I did.
好きな人から何をもらったら嬉しいかねえ、それも誕生日にでしょ？
Yeah. What do you think?
そういえばこの前陸上部の子になぜかスパイクもらっちゃったんだよね。
Huh?
でも新しく買い替えたばかりだったからいらなくて、しかもサイズ合ってなかったし。
What's your point?
何ってただの世間話。
What happened to answering my question? Oh, hello. What is it, Saijo-san?
別にあなたたちの会話が気になって見てたとかそういうんじゃないわよ。
Rinka jump scare. Look, with after Minakoshi, I don't know who to go for next. I just know that Masoru, I forgot his name, is going to be last. But other characters are Rinka and Isuzu. These two girls. I didn't say anything about that, but okay.
西条さんはどう？誕生日に何もらったら嬉しい？
Who even is flatter? I mean, I think they're about the same. No, you know who is flatter? Masora. However you say his name.
私よくお父さんの知り合いから物をもらうんだけど、香水とかお花ばかりなのよ。
No, I think I'm going to do Rinka's, because she's like the dark horse, right? Of this game. She's like the Hazuki of this game. Use your gut and intuition. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Great. Seems pretty fitting for a young lady from a wealthy family.
それだけの理由でプレゼントを選ばれるのは癪よね。
I see. It seemed that people rarely reacted positively when gifted things they were already accustomed to. I played Uta's route and dropped the entire VN. Oh my god. You aren't even god damn it, I forgot what it was called. Never mind. It's gonna Be stuck in the back of my mind. Ow. Who is the side character IDK if I finish that route? What? I don't know. I suppose that was the point of Isuzu's story about her cleats, though. The cafe worker, Kinu-san, Minakoshi's friend, the one with no friend. Oh, wait. God damn it. How did I forget her name? I forgot she was a character as well. No, she's next. Fucking, Uta's friend. I want to do her out next. I forgot it was 6 girls plus Basora. How would you say his name? I was thinking 6, right? For the people you could date. But yeah, Kururu. Yeah, that's her name. That's who I'm going up. That's who I'm going for next. Yeah, look, Dexter, you forgot. So it's not surprising that I did too. It's been that long since I've played this game. It's been 1 month. Well, 2 months, I guess. Had to look it up. Yeah. Thanks for the help, you two.
プレゼントの相談を僕にするとは。もしかして紡ぐ、ついに僕のことを恋愛対象として。
No, you're saved for last, okay? You're meant to be the normal route. Why is Masora so cute? Look, you've been watching too much Ren, alright? Ren keeps talking about the femboys and Honkai Star Rail and Genshin, and now you're joining in. He's the only one. Just answer the question, I'll explain after. Although Masora was a guy, more or less. He did have a maiden's heart, so to speak.
正直、僕なんかに聞くよりは、ちゃんと相手が何を欲しがっているかを考えた方がいいんじゃないかな。
Well, I suppose. An unexpectedly sound argument. Oh God, don't tell me this is where I start going down the rabbit hole. This is when you start liking traps.
女の子って好きな人にどういうことをしてほしいかを常々考えているから。
Well, look, Dexter, it's always a cycle, right? At the start, you're like, I don't like traps because I like girls, and then you start ironically liking traps, right? And then you start ironically liking traps to the point where you're posting about how much you like traps, and then you keep going down the rabbit hole until you unironically like them. But the scenes wouldn't be good. I mean, you know, as long as you don't see the stick, it's not there.
紡ぐ自身がそれを汲み取ってあげるのが一番だと思うよ。それで紡ぐは僕に何をくれるのかな。
I guess it started with Otome Domain. Oh. Masara jump scare. For the last time, this isn't about you. Next at work.
峰越先生が誕生日にもらって喜ぶ贈り物ですか。
It's the girl that we forgot about. Hello, Kururu. I didn't specify who. All I said was someone important to me. I wish she wouldn't keep doing that. Her intuition was far too accurate.
先輩はその日を特別なものにしたいんですよね。
Well, yeah, of course.
そうなると消耗品とかだと少し儚いですよね。 ちゃんと形があるもので一生残るような贈り物にしたいところです。
I see. That makes sense. Your first time? True. Though she wasn't Saijo-san. I doubt receiving perfume or flowers would mean very much to her either. I wanted to give her something that would last. Did that happen yet? I think so. I don't remember. Lastly, I asked Kino-san the same question I had the others, but...
現金がいいな。もちろん諭吉。
Okay, well, yeah, maybe for you, but... I'm looking for a sincere gift, not the obvious one. I don't know why I bothered. What kind of person would give their girlfriend cash for her birthday?
大金であればあるほど気持ちが伝わってくるし、もらった女の子は嬉しいと思うぞ。
Ah, Kino, you have the same mentality as fucking parasocial, as fucking VTuber fans, man. I need to give my favorite, I need to give my Oshi $1,000 so that they know I love them. Like me and you, oh god, don't remind me. True. I think that's only you. Well, I suppose I'll take her advice to me get her something expensive. Oh, by the way, I've increased the number of shifts I'm taking for the next month or so. We might have to reorganize our schedules.
ああ、さっき確認したが、いきなりどうしたんだ？シフト増やしたり、プレゼントがどうのと聞いてきたり。ん？もしやお前。
Alright, back to work. I'll get these plates cleared away. I think she's catching on. Huh? The figure walking toward me was Yushiro Senpai.
やあ、つむぐくん。バイト上がりかな？
Ah, yes. The angel. Yeah. You're just about to start, aren't you?
夜勤でね。
Is Kino against it? I mean, she would be against it, right? It makes sense that she would be against it. I don't know how against it she would be. But right at the start, she's essentially like, don't even think about dating her. And now I'm not sure. Come to think of it, Ushido Senpai and I haven't had any shifts together at all lately. I don't really see him much at school either, so it feels as thought it's. I feel as though it's actually been quite a while since we've spoken. Also, speaking of typos, when I was going through the game, trying to get Hazuki's route, like there were there's scenes that I haven't gone through when I was doing Nanami's and Chisaki's route, like, right? And by god, there were so many typos, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh god. You don't hear the crunch. I don't know what you're talking about.
何か悩み事でもあるのかな？
You could tell, huh? To be honest, I've been thinking about what to give the person I like for her birthday to make her happy.
それは幸せな悩みだね。
I don't know what you mean by that, Dexter, and I don't want to know what you mean by that. Huh? Oh, yeah, I guess. Incidentally, what do you think I should give her, Senpai? Yushiro Senpai?
運命を書き換えてしまうほどの強い思い。
Okay, well that was deep, but that's not what I was asking.
君は今、 自分の愛する人のために途方もない運命に立ち向かおうとしているね。
I'm not gay. I was just trying to be funny. But that's how it starts, Dexter. That's how it starts. It's when it's...
その気持ちだよ。人を思う思い、情愛。それがひいては君と思い人をつなげるくさびとなる。
You start liking femboys ironically, and then you start liking them unironically.
人が人を思う尊い気持ちは必ず相手にも伝わる。
And then it all starts with the first time you looked at a femboy in a visual novel and you're like, oh, they're cute. I like small and flat-chested girls. Look. Never mind.
己の情愛を信じてそのまま突き進むといい。
Right. Thanks. I didn't quite get it. I got the feeling that he was cheering me on.
僕もこのような姿でこの地に降り立ったけれど、ついぞ最後まで手を出すことはなさそうだ。エイル君のこと感謝しているよ。ありがとう。
Huh? Ale?
それじゃあね。
I guess I could awaken it if I really wanted to. Hold on a minute. Yushiro senpai. Heedless of my call, he disappeared into the night. Yushiro senpai. Well, that guy remained a complete mystery to me to the very end. Somehow I felt as though I understood what it was he wanted to say. Believe in myself, huh? Thank you, Yushiro senpai. Thank you, Naruto. Oh. Why wasn't there any sound? 1 month later. Hang on a minute.
しっかり調整しない。サウンドのシステム音声の設定をする
Well,
か
I have the sounds though. Where was
案内役
Where was
シ
Kotohina?
ステムの設定だ。
1 month later. Kotohina's long-awaited birthday finally arrived. In my hand, I held a small gift box. It's a wedding ring. I had taken as many shifts as I could these past few weeks, working myself to the bone for this day. Oh, you thought the same thing. My only regret was that this meant I hadn't been able to spend more time with Kotohina. But if everything went well today, that regret would turn into a sense of accomplishment.
あ、佐久間くん、もう来てたのね。
Hello, Sensei. After school, the two of us met up at the local park. Since there were other people around, we were careful not to use each other's first names. Naturally, this wasn't the ideal date we had in mind. How did Sensei agree to go out with him? I don't remember. But you know how you can find out, Dexter, is if you go watch my Klutzy, if you go watch the latest VOD of my Klutzy Cupid on my VOD channel. But rather, we had something very important to do today.
それじゃあ、行きましょうか。
I'm not interested enough. Look, I don't remember how they got together, but the VOD does. Yeah. It was the place I had been going almost every day last year. I'd been visiting somewhat frequently as well lately, but one slight change now made the place seem completely different to me.
けれど、一体どうしたの？急にエリに会いたいだなんて言い出して。
Kotohina suddenly asked me after we finished signing at the front desk. Well, I've been meaning to meet her at least once someday.
何度も言ってるけど、小泉さんとそっくりだから あまり驚かないようにね。
Eri, what are you confused about? You should know about Eri. She was brought up in Uta's route, and she was seen at the end of Uta's route in a wheelchair. What do you mean I didn't get this far? She was in Uta's route. The whole thing about Eri is that she's a Love Me Ale, right? But in Ale, Eri got into a coma, and right? And well, okay, you don't know about this in Uta's route, but essentially Eri and Kotohina were friends during high school, and Kotohina blames herself for Eri getting into a coma because of an accident, right? And Eri and Ale look the same because they are the same person. Got it.
エリー、私よ。入るわね。
Quite knowing that no one would answer, Kotohina called out politely before opening the door. Following suit, I straightened up myself before entering the room. The faint smell of sterility was somewhat nostalgic. A moment later, my eyes fell upon the very familiar-looking young woman quietly sleeping upon the spotless white hospital bed.
また来たわよ、エリー。
What I was confused about is how, alright, in Uta's route, she's in a wheelchair, because it makes sense that she's in a wheelchair. I don't see anyone taking care of her. She's gonna have to go through a lot of rehab, considering it's been how many years since she got in the coma. But in Ale's route, she's not in that wheelchair. She's fully functioning, right? Like, and you know, I don't remember, and I think the same amount of time passed between the epilogue of Ale's route and the epilogue of Uta's route. I called out gently to the girl. There was no response. There was only the scarcely audible sound of her slow, steady breathing.
この子が天木エリ。小泉さんにそっくりでしょ。
Yeah, you're right. Almost like they're the same person.
ずっと眠っているの。もうすぐ10年になるわね。
A little while after that, Kotohina continued talking to Ariamaki about the things going on in her life lately, the struggles of being a teacher. She also introduced me as one of her students. Understandably, she didn't mention that we were in love or that I was her boyfriend or anything, but perhaps due to the rays of the setting sun shining through the window, Kotohina's face seemed to be filled with a tragic sorrow. As I stared at her from the side, I silently made up my mind.
エリが事故に遭ってしまったのは、あの日、彼女を呼び出した私のせいなの。私がエリを誕生日会に呼ばなければ、こんなことにはならなかった。私は、エリの分まで、エリのしたかったことを成し遂げる必要があるの。
How could she blame herself? This is the thing about grief. It's very hard to not feel responsible when someone gets into like a tragic accident, like in this case, where essentially, right, in Kotohina's mind, the reason Eri got into the accident was because Kotohina invited her to her for her birthday, right? And in her mind, she's thinking, if I didn't invite Eri that day, maybe she might have not gotten into that accident, right? I guess if it was Uta or someone like that. I mean, yeah. And because she can only think about how it's her fault, she is unable to she isn't able to realize or understand that it couldn't have been her fault. Kotohina didn't know that Eri was going to get into an accident, so how can it be her fault? But in her mind, if she didn't invite Eri over, she wouldn't have gotten into. Yeah, Eri wouldn't be in a coma right now, right?
奪ってしまったエリの夢を私が責任を持って成し遂げなければいけないの。教師としてエリが目指していた教師はきっと今の私みたいなものじゃないわよね。佐久間くんの一言でそれに気づかされたわ。おかげで私もっと頑張らなきゃって思ったの。生徒に不安を与えないような強い先生にならなきゃ。私は幸せになっちゃいけないのに。でもこんな気持ち初めてで。どうしたらいいの？エリー。
I recalled the days I spent with Kotohina those past several weeks. Throughout these memories, her grief-filled expression appeared again and again. I've made up my mind, Eri Amaki. I'm about to show you just how determined I am. I hope you're watching. After declaring these words aloud in my mind, I summoned up my courage and opened my mouth. Kotohina, I want you to have something. From my pocket, I took out the small box I brought with me and held it out to her. It is! I opened the lid. Inside was a simple silver ring inlaid with a small moonstone-like gemstone. It signifying the month of Kotohina's birth. I told you! Is this the right place? I knew this was going to be the place she was doing it. I knew he wasn't going to be able to wait until they got back home.
つむぐくん、どういうつもり？こんなものをいきなり。
Today's your birthday after all. This is my present to you. Tsumugu, my birthday is actually tomorrow. Or our initials are engraved onto this ring.
そういうことを聞いてるんじゃないわ。どうして今ここでそれを渡すのと聞いているの？
That's what we're asking. She seemed somewhat upset, but I'd expected that. Because it wouldn't have any meaning otherwise. If I didn't do this in front of Eri-san, I wouldn't be able to show you how serious I am.
本気？
Kotohina, ever since we started dating, you've been more consumed with your guilt towards Eri-san than you have with our relationship. You convinced yourself that you had no right to find your own happiness while Eri-san remained asleep. At first, I thought I had to save you from that way of thinking, but I was wrong. You don't need saving. I realized how admirable it is that you continue to care for Eri-san even after all this time. And I want to support you. Because I want all of us, Eri-san included, to be able to find happiness. That's why I had her initials engraved onto this ring as well. I would be stuttering like crazy right now. True. It doesn't help that my nose is stuffy, so everything that I say sounds weird. No longer did I want to reject what was important to her. Nor did I want to deny it. Instead, I wanted to understand and share it with her. She told me before that Eri-san had gotten into an accident on the day of your birthday. I didn't hear anything different. Well, I do. You know, when I say... Sometimes when I say personality, right? In my mind, it sounds like I'm saying it weird. But then when I hear it back in the recording, it sounds fine. And so every year when your birthday comes around, you think back on what happened, don't you? That's why you always come to see her like you did today. Once I realized that, I decided I would come along with you today as well. So that you wouldn't be alone. Kotahina, if your birthday brings you nothing but painful memories every year, then let me remind you that them with you. Let me remember them with you. Let me share that pain with you. I don't want you to carry this burden alone. That's what this ring represents. Illuminated by the evening sun, the moonstone glittered softly. Almost as though it emphasized itself. So please, until the day Eri-san opens her eyes, which will be in a few days, will you let me stay by your side? I wanted Eri to hear this too. The words you were never able to say to me. And the words I'd been too stubborn to say to you too. I love you, Kotahina. More than anyone in the world. Kotahina's eyes flew wide open. I could see the corners of her eyes starting to gleam. I know. I'm sorry for surprising you. Tears streamed down her cheeks. She stared at the ring I held out to her, and we're not able to see it. I'll be here for you to lean on from now on. Let's both pray for Eri-san's recovery together. That doesn't sound so bad if you ask me. Smiled as she wiped away her tears. At this moment, it looked even more beautiful than ever before. Give me your hand, Kotahina. A small pale light glimmered on Kotahina's finger. It was the ring with my Kotahina's and Eri's name engraved onto it. As it settled into itself onto her finger, it finally seemed to begin shining in earnest. With this, I'd now done everything I could do. All that was left was to wait for a miracle. Yeah.
ラブノートが輝いてるね。 めでたくあの二人の運命度が100になった証だ。
I mean, Sumugu did essentially propose to Kotohina in the hospital room. The Archangel's voice came from behind me. I suppose he must have come to see for himself. What finally became of Sumugu and Kotohina.
これで君も任務から解放される。
Hang on, don't tell me she's gonna wake up while they're still in the room.
心残りはないかい？
はい、ありません。こんなにも幸せな気持ちで恋天使の最後を迎えられるんですから、むしろ嬉しいくらいです。みんなが私を思ってくれて、みんなが私の幸せを祈ってくれて、つむぐさんにも琴ひなにも感謝しかありません。恋天使になれてよかったです。
そう言ってもらえるとこちらとしても嬉しい。では祈りなさい、恋天使ラブミエール。光まとうラブチャームにあなたの願いを込めるのです。
ねえ、琴ひな、最後に私の話を聞いてくれる？琴ひな、あなたは昔から変わらないよね。私が構ってあげなきゃ一人ぼっちを貫くくせに、私にはべったりになったりとか、一人で責任を抱え込んじゃうところも昔と全然変わってない。そうやって変わらないなりにずっと私のことを思ってくれていたんだよね。この10年ずっと一人にしてごめんね。辛かったよね、苦しかったよね。自分の幸せもかなぐり捨てて私の代わりに教師にもなって、よくここまで頑張ってきたね。たった一人で。でもあなたはもう一人じゃない。立派な彼氏がそばにいるんでしょ。一途にあなたを愛して支えてくれる彼氏がいるんだよ。彼のことは私もよく知ってるの。太鼓判を押してあげるから安心して付き合ってよ。だからね、琴ひな、もう自分の幸せから逃げないで。今まで私のために頑張ってくれた分、いっぱい幸せになってよ。そうやってあなたたちが笑っていてくれれば、私もひょっこりそこに顔を出してあげるから。心配しなくてもまた会えるから。奇跡の力よ、どうか琴ひなと紡さんにあるべき幸せをもたらしてください。
What's the matter?
いえ、今声が聞こえたような。
Don't look out the window. There's some supernatural shit happening out there. A voice. I looked around, but there was nobody here except us. But for some reason, I had a hunch I knew whose voice it was. There was only one idiot I knew who was tactless enough to interrupt our moment like this. Though I didn't quite seem to recall that person's name, I had a feeling it was most likely her. Or so I thought, as I watched the glowing sunset. But that's when it happened. Ah! She wakes up while they're in the hospital room. Oh my god.
今の声
Just now, was that... There was no mistake. I'd heard it too. Trembling, I turned to look toward the bed. There, the girl continued laying quietly asleep. But faintly, ever so faintly, I could see her lips beginning to stir.
エリーもしかしてこんな奇跡があるの
I was so shocked that I couldn't speak. This girl who had been asleep for 10 years, as though waiting for this precise moment all along, she had finally made a sound. She's congratulating us. You and me.
本当に
Jesus. It wasn't as bad as it usually is, but still.
こんな時までエリらしいんだから
Large droplets beaded at the corners of her eyes, as though her overflowing emotions were manifesting themselves as tears. Let's find happiness together, Kotohina. Not just the two of us, but with Eri too.
今まで言えなくてごめんなさい大好きよつむぐくん
Well, there's the end of Kotehina's route. Did you just finish her route? Yeah. I was close to finishing and I could feel it. I just didn't expect it now. It's so early. It hasn't even been an hour since I started. You know speaking of the ending, right? I mean, it is a side route, I guess. But you know the shitty part, right? Is that Riddle Joker also has endings, of course. It is a visual novel, but it doesn't let you watch them. It doesn't let you record them. And it's so bad to the point where the DRM literally, like, it breaks my game when I try to record not only the outro but the intro of the game as well at the start. I had to cut those out completely because it would have just been a black screen. And not only that, I couldn't even watch it myself while I was recording because the DRM is just so fucked. But at least with my Klutzy Cupid, I'm able to see it. One fine early afternoon, I was on my way to pay a visit to the hospital. I had an appointment with a certain young woman. I'm here. Can I come in?
はいどうぞ
How are you feeling?
なんともありませんもうバッチシ会長です
Flexed both her arms in the air, showing off like a child might. It had been roughly 2 months or so since Kotehina and I started dating. The girl, who had been in a coma for all these years, Eri Amiki, had miraculously opened her eyes as well. Opened her eyes and was now well on her way to making a full recovery. Apparently, She would likely be discharged from the hospital this summer, even earlier than expected. What?
それでつむぐさんは最近どうなんですか？
Same old, same old.
相変わらず琴ひなとイチャイチャしてるんですか？
She smirked as she asked. It was strange. Despite the fact that she was supposedly older than me, it felt like I was talking to a girl much my own age. Well, you know, I guess. I mean, she has technically not aged for 10 years. Even though her body's aged, she was in a coma for 10 years.
素敵です。
Right? So her personality should be the same. After Eri had woken up, it was as though an enormous weight had been lifted from Kotahina's shoulders. She became much more cheerful and much more proactive in her affections toward me. For all the time we couldn't flirt with each other at school, we spent our weekends at her place making love until the hours passed by. Holy! And every time Kotahina would repeat the words "I love you" over and over again, over and over until her voice went hoarse.
いいなあ。私も恋人が欲しい
Yeah, but that was last route.
な。ねえつむぐさん、いつもどうやって琴ひなとイチャイチャしてるか教えてくれません？
That's a bit. Look, I can't. That's a bit too much information. Are you serious?
恋人ができたらこんなことするんだろうなってことを今のうちに予習しておきたいんですよ。
Sorry, but you'll have to ask someone else. Kotahina and I. He suddenly leaped toward me, catching me off guard.
こうやっていっつも抱き合ってるんでしょ？いいな。
Don't give me that. Get off. This is bad. If someone were to see us like this, God truly had no mercy.
二人とも何してるの？
Kotahina fixed me with the coldest stare I'd ever seen. I was genuinely terrified.
つむぐさんにいずれできる赤ちゃんを抱くでしょう。
Yeah, nobody's buying that. I peeled Eri off me and tossed her back onto the bed.
浮気？そう、浮気なのね。
Oh, absolutely not. Please stop giving me that look.
ごめんね、琴ひな。私も二人のことが羨ましくなってさ。
My jaw hurts.
普段どういうイチャイチャしてるのか知りたかったの。やっぱり浮気じゃない。
No. No, I had no part in this whatsoever.
エリもエリよ。またつむぐくんをたぶらかして。
Again?
前にも言ったわよね。私のつむぐくんに何かしたらもう勉強見てあげないよって。
Bro, Eri is a tease.
ごめん琴ひな。マジで謝るからそれだけは勘弁して。
These past few weeks, Kotahina had been helping Eri catch up on all the studying she'd miss out on until now. Even though she had been in the same grade as me when her education stopped, a lot had changed with our curriculum in the past 10 years. But that wasn't the only reason.
まったく、あなた教師になるんでしょ？今からそんなのでどうするのよ。
Yeah, you shouldn't be acting that way towards students, Eri.
また説教が始まった。
Only Kotahina is meant to be that way. Eri is no teacher. I mean, Kotahina is only a teacher because Eri wanted to be a teacher.
つむぐくんも。
Hey, MILFs are hot, okay? You can't blame me. Hot me?
あなたも教師を目指してるんでしょ？ エリに乗せられたからって不死だらなことをしちゃダメじゃない。
Oh, right, yeah, Satoru. Satoru? Tsumugu did say he wanted to be a teacher. I'm sorry. And lastly, I had also finally decided on my career path as well. I too wanted to be a teacher, just like Kotehina. I wanted to be someone who offered others guidance.
まったくもう。それじゃあエリ、今日の勉強始めるわよ。
Yeah, I'm offering guidance. Up you.
つむぐくんを誘惑した罰として厳しくいくからね。まだ引きずってるし、許してよことひな。つむぐくんも
Uh-oh.
後でお仕置きしちゃうからね。
I knew she was going to... Huh? My so-called punishment would come later that evening. After we said our goodbyes to Eri, Kotehina half dragged me all the way to her apartment. BDSM? I'm so tempted to look up the CGs of this game, but at the same time, I want to wait until I go through all of the routes, and then I do the patch, and then I install the patch. A few days later, Eri was discharged from the hospital and happily made her return to Konohana Academy as a second-year student. Now you know how I feel about some stuff. True. Gosh, you know, magical girls. That's different. Put into the same class as me, she spent her days at Kotehina's side as though making up for all the time she had lost. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Before I knew it, the seasons had gone by. Then third year, then graduation, all in the blink of an eye. Eri and I both made it into our universities, of course. While diligently pursuing our studies, we continued having fun every day. Am I still awake? I don't know why you're still awake. One thing that did come as a shock, however, was that Kotehina decided to retire from being a school teacher at the same time we graduated. She now made a living working as a cram school teacher in her hometown. Although I told her she might as well have stayed at Konohana if she was going to continue teaching anyway, Kotehina stubbornly refused and chose to step down from the podium. I can't continue teaching here when I'm married to one of my own recently graduated students. Was this Kotehina's reasoning when she offered her resignation to the school? That's right. Although I was still a student, Kotehina and I had decided to get married. Damn. Oh my god. The church bells resounded overhead, chiming its blessing upon us as we began our new life together. We finally made it, huh?
いろいろあったけれど、この日を迎えられて本当に良かった。
Too early to start crying. There should be a scene for when they pass away. Oh my god. No, man. There should be... You know what that should be a scene of? There should be a scene of Tsumugu marrying everyone, and then the last CG of every route has them getting married. Because even though in Ucha's route she's in a wedding dress, right? That's a fake marriage. That isn't even a real marriage. In Ael's route, there is an even marriage, right? It's too early to start crying.
いるわ。さあ、行きましょう。
Jesus Christ. I was hoping it wouldn't get bad, but where's the log?
分かっているわ。さあ、行きましょう。
Yeah, I know it hates Kotehina.
本当におめでとう。
Now imagine imagine if any of the students were invited.
とっても綺麗だよ。エリー。
Hey, look, former students and former classmates. Is Uta there? I mean, she is a former student, just not of well, actually, maybe, because you know, Tsumugu talked about how he was in 3rd year and then graduation. Kotohina could have been Uta's student when she got into 2nd year. Familiar faces surrounded us on all sides as we walked down the wedding aisle. I recognized each and every one of them, remembering how we'd met and all the memories we'd made.
しかし、未だに信じられないな。あの牧年人の紡がまさか琴ひなを射止めるとは。
This is embarrassing as hell. You don't say. Kitty-san. Kotohina's old classmate, my old boss, was there too. I really owed her a lot.
紡かっこいいよ。僕もキュンキュンしちゃうくらいかっこいい。
I knew it. Oh!
先生ほどの人ならしょうがないとはいえ。
No! Bro, what the fuck, man? Don't do this to me. Let me jump off a cliff.
どうどううたちゃん、いつでも遊びに来ていいって言われたんでしょ。
Uta had also successfully moved on to university, which I was truly glad to see.
つむちゃん、先生、おめでとう。
Why did I do that for Uta, man? Suzu and I had made up too.
まあ、佐久間くんにしては会えてるんじゃない？
I'd managed to become friends with Saijo-san as well.
この日な、絶対幸せになるんだよ。分かってるわ、エリー。
The two of them beamed at each other through their tears. After escaping the darkness that had plagued her for so long, this was where she had finally arrived. From the bottom of my heart, I was glad that that place was at my side.
みんなが祝ってくれてるのね。私たちの結婚を。
Bro, Uta didn't even get a proper wedding, man! This goes to show how much they adore you. They used to say you only became a teacher because of the guilt you felt toward Eri. But what you see here today is the result of all those years of your hard work. Hang on. You used to say, Jesus Christ. What? The writers did Uta bad. Yeah, they did.
こんなに嬉しそうなみんなの顔を見たら、そう思いたくなっちゃうわね。いろんなことがあったけれど、教師やっててよかったわ。
Regardless of her personal feelings or her darkest thoughts, Kotohina had approached her role as a teacher with the utmost seriousness that must be That must be what she meant.
でも本当に教師をやっててよかったと思うのはもっと先になるかもしれないわね。
Why is that?
だってこれからはもっと幸せになるんだもの。あなたと一緒に。好きよ、つむぐくん。愛しているわ。
Kotahina smiled with all her heart. I knew these feelings had been building up inside her for a long time. For a very long time. Now, without anything to hold her back anymore, she displayed them proudly on her face for all the world to see. Quietly, I thought to myself that this was where Kotahina's happiness restarted anew. Reached Kotahina's ending. Bro, why did they have to do Uta so dirty, man? Oh.
俺のキューピッドがポンコツすぎて怖い。
What? They did not have to do that to her. Man. This is why I have the same... This is why I feel the same way with Nanami and Riddle Joker, right? Because, like... Bro... It's already established that Uta liked Tsumugu even before the game started. Like how Nanami liked Satoru before the game started. It's only after... But it's worse here, right? Because it was even before the common route where we knew that how much Uta liked Tsumugu. Unlike in Riddle Joker where we only find out that Nanami, and I do feel a little bad for Nanami because she is cute. You don't feel as bad because she's big titted.